Hello everyone. So from today we will discuss some different kinds of interview questions which are asked in MNC's company or like different software companies. So there are different topics from where they can ask questions, like the topics are Java, database, some C language also. So we will start with the Java language. So what are the different types of questions which are asked in Java language? So first we will start with what is Java? So first question is, what is Java? So there are different answers which are given everywhere. So we can prefer to the standard answer, which is Java is a object-oriented programming language. Java is a object-oriented programming language. So what is object-oriented programming language? A object-oriented programming language. In object-oriented programming language, there are 5 rules. What are the rules? First rule is the abstraction. Second rule is the class and object. Third rule is encapsulation. Fourth rule is polymorphism. Fifth rule is inheritance. So a Java is an object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language which follows all these 5 rules. What are the rules? Abstraction, object, class and object, encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. So the question is, who developed Java? Java, it is owned by Oracle. So Java is owned by Oracle, and it is also a open source and free. It is open source and free language, and it is also very easy to learn. It is very easy to learn. What is Java? Java is an object-oriented language. Java is owned by Oracle. Java is an open source and free language, and Java is very easy to learn. So there are more few points about Java. Java is platform independent. So Java is platform independent. So what do you mean by platform independent? Like platform independent means, like if we write some code in one platform, that is one operating system, and we can run that same code in other operating system without any modification. So that is, if we can write Java code in one platform. Platform means the operating system, and run on another platform without any modification. So what is platform independence? That we can write the Java code in one operating one platform or the operating system, and we can run it on another without any modification. In case of C, like we have to install the same software to run that code in other operating system also. But in case of Java, due to that, when we create a Java file, so a Java dot class file is created, and we can send this dot class file to another operating system, so which we can run. Like if we create a Java file, and when we just compile this Java file, a dot class file is generated, which is helpful for running that program. So if we can send this dot class file to any other operating system, that can run directly on the operating system. We don't have to install any software for this. But in case of like the C or C some file, so we have to transfer that C whole program into other operating system. So in that case, we will require C software to install so that we can run that file. So that is not here in case of Java. So that is why Java is platform independent. And Java, why, like where Java is used, we can ask like where Java is used. So it is used in developing mobile and desktop applications, or big data processing or embedded system, etc. So where it is used in development of and mobile applications and desktop application. Big data processing, embedded system, etc. So this is all about what Java. What is Java? Java is an object-oriented programming language. So it follows the 5 rules, that is abstraction, class and object, encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. Who created Java? Java is owned by the Oracle. It is also Sun System. It is also created by Sun System. And Java is an open source programming language. It is very easy to learn. Java is platform independent, but we can't say it's 100% platform independent. It's not actually 100% platform independent, but we can prefer it by saying it's a platform independent. So what do you mean by platform independent? For platform independent, we mean like if we write any code in some other operating system and we can run the same code in any other operating system, that is platform independent. Where Java is used in development of mobile applications, desktop applications, big data processing, embedded system, etc. So now we will look what is an identifier. What is an identifier? So in Java, a name in Java program is called identifier. If anything used for identification purpose, identifier means identification. You can remember with the same term, similar with I and I. So an identifier is used for identification. So what is an identifier? An identifier is a name used for identification. Identification of what? Identification of variable, class, or name, or method name. So what is identifier? An identifier is used for identification. Identification of what? It is used for identification of variable, class or label or method name. So like if we look into like a small program, like here, class test, public static void main string args int x equal to 2. So here, how can you tell like how many identifiers are there in this program? So in this program, there are total 5 identifiers. So what is the first identifier? The first identifier is the test. What is test? Test is a class name. What is then the next identifier is the main. Main is also the name of method. And what a third one is the string. String is what? This is predefined Java class. Fourth one is the args. What is the args? This is the name of the array. And the fifth one is this x. What is this? This is name of variable. So here in this small program there are 5 identifiers. So now we can clearly define what is an identifier. So we can take a name in a Java program is called identifier, which can be used for identification purpose. It can be method name, variable name, class name or label name. So this is what our identifier is. So there must be some rules to define an identifier. So there are few rules by which we can define an identifier. So the rules are: the first rule, so we will see what are the rules for defining Java identifiers. Rules for defining Java identifiers. So the first rule is the only allowed characters are from A to Z, small letter, lowercase and uppercase, and the number from 0 to 9, and from A to Z, lowercase, A to Z, uppercase, from number 0 to 9, and only 2 special character symbols are used, which is dollar and underscore. So these are only the possibilities. These are allowed. So these are only allowed in the Java identifiers. For example, if we take this as total underscore number, this is valid Java identifier, but hash number, this. So the second rule is identifiers can't start with a digit. So cannot start with a digit. Example, total 123 is valid, but 123 total, 123 total is not valid. The third rule is Java identifiers are case sensitive. Java identifiers are case sensitive. That is, if we declare this number int number or int number or int number, these all are three different identifiers, as Java is case sensitive. And there are more rules, which is like there is no limit for length of the Java identifiers. So there is no length limit. So that doesn't mean that you make a identifier of 67, 3, 57, 56 length. No, it is not recommended. So we have to, as there is no length limit, so that doesn't mean that we can make the variable of any length. So to be precise, we can make the length of the variable, whatever variable we want. So we should like know the length, so that we can, if we want to use in later in the program, so we can use it effectively. And the fifth rule is that no reserved words are used. We cannot use any reserved words. So in total there are 53 reserved words in Java. We will come to the topic of this reserved word in the later classes. So till now, so there are 53 reserved words in Java. So the reserved words cannot be used. For example, if we take as int as x equal to 10, this is valid. But if we take as int if equal to 10, this is not valid, as if is a reserved word. And the sixth rule is that all the predefined Java class name and entropies name we can use as identifiers, but it is not recommended to use it. We can use all Java class name which is predefined and entropies name. So like if we want to use the variable name as string, int string equal to 888, then we can use it, it is valid, but it's not recommended. So these are all the rules about what are Java identifiers. So what are the rules? Like we can use from A to Z, that is uppercase and lowercase both, including the numbers from 0 to 9. And there are only two symbols that we can use, that is underscore and dollar, and this we can use and any other symbol apart from this symbol, that is hash symbol, dot symbol, or star. So these are not used. So now the second rule was that the name of the identifier cannot start with a digit. So we have to start it with a letter, and the letter is from A to Z, uppercase or lowercase. And the third rule is that Java identifiers are case sensitive. That is, it is very case sensitive. The fourth rule is that there is no length limit of identifiers. But it's not recommended to take the length of the variable as too long. No reserve words can be used. Like there are 53 reserved words in Java, but no reserved words can be used in as identifiers. So if we use it, then we will get some compile time error. So and the last rule is that if we can, all the Java class name which are predefined class name and entropy's name, we can use it as an identifier name. So like a string is a predefined class name, so we can use this string as the variable or identifier name. So now we will study about what is the next important topic which can be asked in the interview. So we will discuss about variables. So what are different types of variable? So there are two divisions on types of variable, that is division 1 and division 2. So division 1 is made on the basis of type of value represented by a variable. Type of value represented by a variable. And the division 2, or on the basis of this division 1 type of variable represented by a variable, so there are two kinds of variable. One is primitive variable and the other is reference variable. So what comes in the primitive variable? Primitive variables are the variables which are already defined in Java. That is int x equal to 10. This int is a primitive variable. And what is reference variable? Reference variable are the variable which are created by the programmers. So suppose we create a class of student, and if we want to create the object of student, then we create a student s equal to new student. So this s this is a reference variable. So it is a reference variable. So this is all about division 1, type of value represented by a variable. What are the different types of values which a variable can represent? On the basis of that, there are two kinds of variable. One is the primitive variable and the second is the reference variable. So, and on what is division? There is also a division 2. Division 2 is on the basis of position of declaration and behavior of variable. What is this? Position of declaration and behavior of variable. So on the basis of declaration of position of declaration of variable, so the division 2. So on the basis of position of declaration of variable, there are three kinds of variable. So first one is the instance variable, Second one is the static variable. And the third one is the local variable. So the variables can be classified into two types. First one is based on division 1, which is type of variable value represented by a variable, and the second one is the position of declaration, like where the variable is declared. So it is of three types: instance variable, static variable, and local variable.